This is so behind the scenes. All right, so we're gonna sit off with Robin here, and we're doing a behind the scenes, getting to know what's the world of artists in the state of Colorado. So she's my, I want to say guinea pig, but that sounds horrible.
It's okay. I was the guinea pig growing up. That's fine.
The guinea pig for first episode.
We're learning.
So for mostly like what I'm trying to get is information on like, you know, getting into the art world that you're in, and like what are your experiences in it, what your experiences are being in the state of Colorado, being that kind of artist. Do you feel like it does affect some of the markets that you do? Because I know some of them you do have to drive out to, and like with weather being a factor, has that ever like affected you to a point where it put you in a hole, or you know, that kind of scenes? Because like a lot of artists who are trying to get into the art world and don't really know anything about it, I feel like this is something they're going to be looking for.
Yeah. To start, I went to art school to be an art teacher, and I taught art I was a teacher for 16 years, but I taught art specifically to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for about 4 years, and then we had the whole COVID switch and came back, and I realized I wasn't making any art, and I was losing my mind. But the art experience that I've had here in Colorado, it's been, there's a lot of, negative things about going to art school, but the only good thing that really came from it, besides, the amazing friends that I made and stuff along the way, was the fact that I did get a chance to, be in a couple of gallery shows and stuff. Otherwise, I don't think I would have, known how. So it kind of, shoved me and made me do that. Then I didn't do it, and recent ones have been the first last year getting back into doing art, because after I left teaching, so I left teaching in 2020, and I left to be just a tattoo artist, and it was a huge leap, and it was absolutely crazy because I went from being full-time teacher and all this stuff and having a salary, and then I jumped into the art world, and I was just depending on my art to make my money.
Yeah,
it was freaking crazy and really scary, but amazing people like you supported me, and all my other really good friends that I just so much appreciate. And now I get to do art full-time, and I'm making paintings again and trying to be in shows, and it's been so much better. But the art community here in Colorado, I'm finding, is so fun and welcoming. I've been to other states like Oregon, and it was very thanks, Hunter. You're the best. I appreciate you. This is Hunter. Hunter's amazing.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thanks, bro. You're the best. Was that enough money?
Oh yes, plenty.
Okay, good.
Do you need a straw?
No, this is not strawable, but
Okay.
thank you.
If you suck hard enough, it can be.
Yeah, that's right. I'm or I can just hurt myself.
Should we pause?
Yeah, I was oh, this is not happening.
Part 2. All right, take 2. Snacks over.
Snack break is over. That was delightful. I needed that. I love a good milkshake. Thank you.
I think you were talking about your journey from where you started off as doing art publicly, and then college, and then coming here doing tattooing here. So do you, now being integrated fully in a couple years in on your belt as a tattoo artist, what can you say about the tattoo community in Colorado?
Well, I will say that my shop is really awesome. I'm very lucky because there's a lot of gatekeeping in the tattoo industry, and it's not always very friendly when female apprentices, how could I say this, non-straight hetero males want to get into the tattoo industry. It's not always as welcoming, but I was so lucky because my boss, June, was so welcoming, and he was just yeah, if you want it, you just have to show up and do it. And I was okay. So I showed up and I did, and I worked hard and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people it's not just women, who have really rough apprenticeships and they don't learn anything. We have a dude here and he didn't learn anything about tattooing. So I'm really lucky that my boss really like saw potential and he pushed me, because I've seen like some people be really awesome. Like I know some really wonderful tattoo artists at a couple other shops and piercers at other shops, and they're just like so awesome and so sweet. But then I've also had some really weird encounters with people where like I was like, oh my gosh, I love your tattoos, I'd love to like add to your collection. They're like, I am a tattoo artist. And I was like, okay, trying to be really nice, and they are just very like hard stop, don't want to talk to. I was like, okay, well. But
you feel like that it's more because I feel like you're a threat to them, or
there is like this myth right now in the tattoo industry that we are super oversaturated with artists. But there's like 8 billion people in the world. There's thousands of people in Colorado.
Yeah.
There's enough to tattoo for everyone. Like everyone should be able to eat, but it is like you have to like be on your game and you have to have a good word of mouth going, because it's not just an internet presence that is helping you get clients. It's having good word of mouth, having good reviews.
Yeah.
Because you can go get a $10 tattoo, but you're also probably going to get MRSA or something like that, because people aren't like taking care of like their stuff, their certification and all that. So like there's some places that are more like on by the books, like we are here, having your licensing and your certification for like bloodborne pathogens and stuff. So people try to be competitive with prices, like, but at the same time, like you have to value your time. So it's like, I don't know, like the tattoo industry here is either very welcoming or it's not. It's very interesting. There's no like hot or cold, and it just like depends on shop owners, the shop culture.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So would you say, what is the most common mistake as an apprentice joining a tattoo shop that they get stuck at a bad place? How do you realize you're stuck at a bad place as an apprentice?
That's a really good question. You're not learning anything, and you're kind of, for lack of a better words, you're kind of the shop bitch. People take advantage of your time. They aren't teaching you anything. Like, if you're not tattooing and practicing on fake skin, you should be watching your mentor. You should be drawing. You should, be constantly working around the shop. And sometimes either the owners or the mentors, whoever's in charge of like mentoring the apprentice, they'll be like, you have to either, clean the bathroom, and that's your job. You clean the bathroom and you watch artists, and they won't touch like a skin, fake skin, real skin, any type of thing. Or like you have to be able to like assemble a machine, a coil machine, even though like we don't really use coils anymore. I use rotaries. Everyone here uses a rotary machine. Oh, hello. Hope that was recording me.
Oh, it was.
But there's a lot of hazing and stuff that'll go on where like they are just rude. I'm just, like I said, I'm very lucky that my shop is so great, and my mentor was like, this is your assignment, like you need to be able to tattoo this, like I'm going to give you a design, you need to stencil it, you have to draw it, you have to do all the stuff so that and like practice, you need to practice. And then he, instead of like letting me kind of like wallow and trying to figure it out, he was like, when are your friends going to come in? Like you need to have like people to practice on. Like he
I remember you asked me.
You were one of them, yeah. You were one of them. I appreciate you. But like I said, I like practiced on myself first before anybody came in, because I was like, I don't want to hurt anyone more than necessary. But my mentor really pushed me, and he really wanted me to like work and like make money. It wasn't so much about him losing clients. He wanted me to gain clients, which was really awesome, because that's another like problem I see is like people being afraid that like people are gonna steal clients away, and like no, like I said, there's enough clients to go around. You're not taking money away from anybody. And my mentor was really awesome because he like wanted me to make money. He wanted me to have practice. So how do you know that you're in a bad shop? People are not respecting you. They're being rude to you. Like, I got hazed a little bit. They would zip tie my scissors together.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that
so-
seems more friendly, though.
Yeah, it was so silly. Or like, because I'm OCD about my ink bottles and stuff, and they would just turn them all the opposite direction, like not facing forward. And I was like, God. Or like moving my stuff just like a little bit. And I'm just like, what the heck? So they would do really silly stuff that was more funny. But there's people that are just mean to apprentices. And on the flip side, people get into tattooing though, and they think you don't have to know anything about art. You don't have to be able to draw. You don't, like, because it's kind of this idolized identity, being a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And people are like, I want to go do that. I want to be cool. But they don't realize that you draw all day. Like, that's all you're doing is you're drawing on skin,
Yeah.
which we just did.
That you can't see.
But you're drawing all day, and like
Yeah.
you go home and you draw at night for your client the next day. I want to be in the art community and a part of like not just this, but like the art shows and stuff. So I go home and I paint and I draw and I do my own work. So
Yeah.
you're constantly making art. And the biggest mistake people can make when they want to become a tattoo artist is they think, I don't have to draw. I can just trace stuff off of Pinterest. You're still drawing. Like
Yeah.
you still have to be able to draw. You have to be able to have a connection of like your eye and your hands. And if you don't have a good connection, which you practice through drawing because it's
Yeah.
a skill, or painting, just having that like relationship with your hand and your eye,
Yeah.
the tattoos speak for themselves because shading makes no sense. Even simple shading. I've
Yeah.
seen some stuff that's really bad.
Yeah, I was watching you shade the gummy bear, and I was like, that makes no sense, but I like it.
But I like it. It's
And I do art too. I paint, like I
Yeah.
shade with color too, and it's still not how I exactly do it. The
Yeah.
one thing I noticed you do that I do with when I paint watercolors is I start with just one color at a time. I don't
Uh-huh.
blend colors. It's just
yeah.
one color at a time.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy. And
Yeah.
then people forget, like, if you don't know color theory or you don't know anything about color theory, doing something
Yeah.
like a realistic gummy bear, understanding shadows, like, that's a huge thing. There's a science to shadows.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, from teaching art, I can tell you for a fact, there is a science, art science? I don't know. But you have to understand where shadows end, where highlights start, and like if you're doing something kind of realistic or whatever.
Yeah.
Being able to differentiate like dark from light and see the grays in between
Yeah.
is gonna it makes or breaks a tattoo.
Yeah, because I know with like, and I'm imagine with tattoos the same as watercolors is how I can say it. There's not really much space for mistakes.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
there's no happy trees.
There
in
is
this.
no, yeah, we can't, especially with tattoos and skin, you can't really erase anything.
No happy trees.
No happy trees.
No
Be
Bob
like,
Ross mentalities.
so you wanted like something extra here, right?
You're like,
We're
no,
gonna-
this is
We're gonna start out like I know this was just this, but now it's gonna have a little friend.
flower.
Yeah. What do you think about flowers? You like flowers? 'Cause we're gonna do a flower here because nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. No, I feel that. That makes sense.
But yeah, so yeah.
All right, break time.
Okay.
That was good.